I'm Stephen and Frederick, and this is How I Cook. Today, I'm making a beef brisket and red cabbage. So, St. Patrick's Day is coming up, and everybody will be having corned beef brisket. This is not that. This is barbecue beef brisket. So this is a 3-pound brisket that is not corned beef. It's regular beef. First step is very easy. We're going to put a rub on this and let it sit for 3 to 4 hours. I really like this Kinder's rub. It's called cowboy butter. You don't have to use this. You can use whatever rub you like or make your own. Salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, brown sugar, whatever. But I found this to be delicious. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to liberally put this on the brisket. Both sides. And then I'm going to put this in the refrigerator for 3 to 4 hours. So it's been 3 hours. I took the brisket out of the fridge. It's been sitting in the rub, hopefully imparting lots of flavor to the brisket. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put barbecue sauce on. Use your favorite barbecue sauce. I happened to make my own barbecue sauce the other day. I baked chicken and I wanted it to be barbecue chicken, but we were out of barbecue sauce. There are lots of easy recipes on the internet with all things you have in the house. Vinegar, ketchup, brown sugar, all that. So that's what I'm using. But what I'm going to add to it is some liquid smoke for the barbecue brisket, just to add some smoky flavor. Be careful. Hopefully that's not too much. Gonna mix it in. And then we're going to lather the barbecue sauce on the brisket. I'm doing the side that does not have the fat cap first because I'm going to cook that face down. I want the fat cap to melt as it cooks. So that looks pretty good. Now we take it, flip it over, and here this side has the fat cap and has also had the dry rub. Great. So both sides have rub, both sides have barbecue sauce. Now we're going to wrap this up extremely well. It's very important you wrap it up well so that all the moisture gets trapped in. So that's wrapped up nicely. I have the oven preheated at 325 degrees. This is going into the oven 325 degrees for 3 hours. Okay, so 3 hours have passed. The next step is very easy. I just turned off the oven. So the brisket has been in the oven 3 hours at 325 degrees. We're now going to leave it in the oven for 1 more hour with the oven off. The temperature will continue to drop. I neglected to mention at the beginning that it was a 3-pound brisket. As long as it's the flat brisket, it really doesn't matter how big the brisket is, but 3 pounds is good for the 2 of us for 2 nights. Okay, now we're going on to the red cabbage. You'll need around 4 tablespoons of butter, a head of cabbage cut up. This one resulted in about 8 cups of cabbage. A medium onion being cut up. This is a little bit more than a cup. A Granny Smith apple cut up. You can use whatever type of apple you want. 2 tablespoons of salt. A tablespoon of caraway seed. 3 tablespoons of sugar. And a half cup of apple cider vinegar. So Let's put the 4 tablespoons of butter in the pot. I already had the pot on, so it's going to melt the medium onion. I don't want the onion to brown, so I'm going to watch the onion, but I just want to get it covered with the butter. Okay, so the butter is totally melted. The onions are coated in the butter. The head of cabbage. This will fill the pot, but it will reduce down. Next, let's do the salt. 2 tablespoons of salt. 3 tablespoons of sugar. Caraway seed, 1 tablespoon. One-half cup of apple cider vinegar. And the 1 apple cut up. I left the skins on. You can take them off if you want, but this is going to cook for quite a while, so they're going to become really soft. So I just left them on. And there we have it. I'm just going to leave this to go for a little while so the cabbage softens and reduces down. Once it does, I will start stirring this. We'll stir it every few minutes to get it really going. I'll come back and show you what it looks like along the way. It's been 20 minutes. I've stirred occasionally, and it's reduced down quite a bit, and it's a vigorous boil. I am now going to lower the heat to very low, put the lid back on, and let it continue to reduce down. Once it gets even more reduced, I will take the lid off so some of the moisture will evaporate off and it will thicken up. But this is coming along very nicely. So I cooked it for another 20 minutes with the lid on, and then I took the lid off and cooked it for another 20 minutes. So some of the liquid would evaporate off. It looks great. It's done. And I cannot wait to try it. So the brisket cooked for 3 hours at 325 degrees. I turned off the oven, let it sit in the oven for 1 more hour, and now I've taken it out. It's still quite hot. Let's see what we have here. Oh my goodness. This is beautiful. There's a lot of liquid here. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take it and put it on a plate and let it cool for just a little. So you can see the 3-pound brisket really reduces down, but this is definitely enough for 2 people for 2 nights. So the grain's going this way. So I'm going to cut it this way. I don't even have to cut it. The knife is going through it like butter. And yes, there is some fat, the fat cap. You don't have to eat it if you don't want. But look at how moist this is. This is deliciousness. So, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of barbecue beef brisket and red cabbage. Remember, it's not the right way. It's not the way you should do it. This is how I cook. I'm Stephen and Frederick. Thanks for watching. See you next time.